everyone, and welcome to my presentation tonight. I'm going to leave it a few minutes before I start because obviously people are joining us. So if you're here now, just drop me a comment down below. I have come on a little bit early because I wanted to be first here, right? So if you are here, let me know where you're from. Drop me a comment below, and more importantly, let me know if you've had any snow today, right? Because we've had snow here in Denton where I live. Only a tiny bit, and it's not stuck. But I believe that some people have been having lots and lots of snow. So if you're one of the people who's been having snow, let me know in the comments. Okay, so before I start, I am going to give a shout out, right? A shout out to a guy called Steve Jones, who really helped me yesterday. I think he was intending to heckle me, but he really helped me because he kept commenting on my post over in the Denton community group, and it helped keep my advert at the top of the page. So big shout out to Steve. If you're in the Denton community group and you're in here now, then I know what you were doing on Saturday. Okay, I'm not saying any more on that. I'm going to start talking about my I'm going to start my presentation basically. Okay, so I was first introduced into network marketing back in 1997. But my story isn't going to start there. My story starts about 18 months beforehand. And I left school a long time ago. I'm not going to tell you how long ago, that's giving away my age. But I went straight into working in a bank. And I worked in a bank for a long time. I had 2 kids. I carried on working in a bank. And in 1996, I was in a bank in West Didsbury, in Manchester. And I'm walking across the room like this. Like, you've seen them in the bank, haven't you? Like this. Not really looking at the counter. And I hear this commotion coming over to me left-hand side. And I looked round, and as I looked round, I was staring down the barrel of a shotgun. There was 4 guys in ski masks who'd come into the bank and they were going to rob it. And I don't talk about this very often because to this day, I still get emotional when I think about this. It was over in probably a couple of minutes flat, but I was stuck in the middle of the office. I wasn't on the counter, thank God. Don't know what it would have been like if it had been on the counter. But I was like right in the line of fire. I looked around. I looked around for somewhere to hide. All the desks, people were sort of like cowering under the desk. There was absolutely nowhere for me to go. And I was a sitting duck. I was like a rabbit caught in headlights. And I just froze, basically. Anyway, after that, I was off work, and I was off for 3 weeks that time. A few months later, it happened again, but this time it wasn't a raid. I was working in a sub-branch over in Didsbury, in the sub-branch on Fog Lane, and I was behind a screen, an opaque screen, you couldn't see through it. I was doing the night saves, and next thing I know, I hear all this crashing. I could hear the glass smashing at the front, and I thought, oh my God, they're going to be around here in a second. They're going to march me into safe. They're going to make me take all the money out. And I literally went to pieces. As it happened, it turned out that this was a customer. It was a customer who was irate at the bank and had just decided to put all the windows through. And what I heard, what I thought was the counter coming down, was the windows at the front of the bank being smashed through. But it tipped me over the edge, and I was off work 6 months this time. I was later diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, but how it left me, I was adamant that I wasn't going to go back into a bank. So I started looking around for another job, and I applied for, it must have been about 50 jobs that I applied for, and I couldn't get a job with any. For love nor money, I could not get a job. I mean, I went for interviews for vacuum cleaners and, oh God, all sorts of things. Anyway, long story short, I digress. You're probably wondering what this has all got to do with network marketing. Well, it was the catalyst for me to start looking. and I came across an advert in a local newspaper inviting me to an event in Manchester, and it just said something along the lines of, you know, do you like cosmetics? Would you like to get involved in the industry? And I thought, okay, I'm going to go along. I'm going to have a look at that. So I went along, and I listened to the presentation. It was a good presentation, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. And it was £200 to buy the kit at the time. And I thought, I'm going to give that a go. Now, I won't mention what company it was, but I will just say this. It was headed up by a very famous entrepreneur who's also famous for his airline, his train service, and his record company. So it was backed by him. So I knew it wasn't dodgy. So I signed up, and that was my first experience in network marketing. They took us on this training, and they trained us how to do facials on people, how to do a makeover on people, and then it was our job to go out, book parties and do facials on people and makeovers and what have you. And to be honest with you, I loved it. It was great. I booked a couple of parties a week. I'd go out the house. Well, it was all very good fun, but I wasn't really earning that much money. After about 9 months, I thought I'd give it a good go. After about 9 months, I was really fed up. There were some parties where I was doing okay, other parties where, you know, I wasn't earning anything. I wasn't even covering the hostess gift. So I quit. I phoned the boss up and I said, look, I'm not going to do this anymore. I've got a couple of parties booked in. I'll do those parties, and then that's it. I'm not doing it anymore, right? So she said, oh, okay, Louise, you know, can I not talk you out of it? I went, no, I've made my mind up. So I went and did these 2 parties, and on my last party, my very last party, I sold over £300 worth of stuff. And I had 3 people come to me on that party and say, I'd like to book a party as well. And it was like, oh, great, you know, but I've already made my mind up, I'm leaving, I'm really sorry. So I passed them on to somebody else. So the moral of that story is, and your first lesson that I'm going to teach you in network marketing, do not quit before payday, right? It's a long-term business. I mean, give it at least 6 months, if not a year, before you quit on anything. So that's my first lesson that I learned in network marketing. So after that, I came out of network marketing for a bit. Where I did eventually go back into a bank, but I was still looking for other jobs. And I'd got to the point where I was actually resigned to working in a bank for the rest of my life. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I got a letter from an insurance company that I'd applied for a job with months before. And the insurance company wanted me to come to a presentation. And what it was, they were signing up financial advisors. So they invited me to become a financial advisor, and I thought, you know what, I've worked in finance all my life. I do know my stuff around finance, so I'm going to give it a go. So it was a big decision. It was 21 years I was in banking, and it was a big decision for me. But I thought, if I don't do it, then, you know, I'm going to wonder whether or not I'd have been any good at it. So I went, handed my notice in, went working as a financial advisor. And that company was brilliant. Absolutely loved that job. Absolutely loved it for about a year. I passed all my financial planning certificates. I was going out into the field advising people. And then something happened over in America. Somebody decided to drive a plane into the Twin Towers. The stock market crashed. All I was dealing with was complaint after complaint after complaint after complaint, right? Again, I wasn't actually bothered about that. I was dealing with them like you do, you know. I mean, I know the stock market can go up and come down and what have you, and go all over the place. So I wasn't actually bothered about dealing with the complaints, but I wasn't selling anything. So on Friday night, the boss dragged us all into the office, and he literally shouted and bawled at us for 20 minutes. Right in my face like this, right up in my face, going, you know, you're lazy, blah, blah, blah. And I left the office that night, and I thought, I can't stand this. There's no way that I'm staying here and being shouted at like that. So I started looking for another job. I went back home, I spoke to my husband, though I did get another job this time, and it was working in a bank. And it was working for less money than what I was on with the as a financial advisor, and slightly less money than there was when I left banking. But there wasn't any way that I was going to stand there and be shouted at by somebody who's supposed to be a boss and supposed to be a leader. I wasn't going to put up with it. So that was my second lesson in life, was that if you're not happy with something, you do not have to put up with it. You're not a tree. You've got feet. You can move. So I moved. However, it did leave me in a situation where I was £50 a month. £50 a month short on what I needed to pay the bills. So at that point, I'm thinking, what do I do? And I thought, I know, you're still all right with that Virgin Bee. I know it was a bit of hard work, but I thought, I'm not going back to them, but I will go and have a look around and see what else is out there. Right, so I joined another network marketing company, a very famous network marketing company. I'm not going to tell you who, but I will just say this: they're famous for cosmetics, and they put brochures through your letterbox. So I joined up with them. Now, I started out and I was given a box of brochures, about 50 in this box. And I was told what to do with them, go and post them through letterboxes. About a few weeks later, the boss came back to me and they were still on the table. And she said to me, Louise, but now, in fairness, I had every intention of putting them out, I just hadn't got round to it. She says, Louise, she says, I'm going to tell you something now, and this will always stick with me. She said, if you take those brochures and post them through letterboxes, she says, I can't guarantee that you'll sell anything. She said, but if you leave them on that table over there, I can guarantee that you will not earn a bean. And I thought about it, and you know what? I thought, she's right. So I went and shoved 50 brochures out through letterboxes, went back, picked up orders worth 135 quid, which didn't give me quite what I needed, which was 50 quid. But the month after that, I was earning the 50 quid. Now, that is a lesson that I learned way back, well, at that particular point, was that if you don't take action, or rather, if you do take that action, it doesn't guarantee you anything. But if you don't take any action, it does guarantee that you won't get anywhere in life. So that is something that has stuck with me throughout my career in network marketing. Well, throughout my career, everywhere. So, long story short, I kept that going. However, in the meantime, I got another job offer as a financial advisor. So I went back into financial advice, was in that for 2 years. And then I got invited to run a loan scheme for the local authority. And I was there from 2003 to 2009. In 2007, my marriage broke down. So this was another really bad period in my life, because first of all, my husband left. There was me and my son at home. And then about 18 months after he left, I got made redundant. So I was at home on my own with just me and my son, who was 16. He was at college, he wasn't working. And the only income I had was this part-time network marketing business. And the money that was coming in from that, I'm not complaining about it. I was doing okay, but it wasn't even enough to cover the mortgage. It barely covered the bills, let alone the mortgage. So I was applying for other jobs here, there and everywhere. And I was about 9 years older than last time. And basically, nobody wanted me. Nobody wanted me. So I was living off my redundancy settlement. I didn't know how long that would last. And I thought, I know, I'll see what I can do with this network marketing business. So I really went for it. And I set up a business on eBay and Amazon, later Amazon, first eBay. And I started selling, and I was selling a lot. And I went from being quite good to being really, really good. I was winning holidays. I was in the top 50 in that business. I was winning holidays. I was being invited to events, was going on meals. I got to meet loads of new people. I was living the dream. I was living, riding the crest of the wave. Anyway, in 2015, I met my current husband, Julian, and he joined me in that business. So we were both network marketers, and we were living off it. So there's another lesson that I learned from network marketing. Anybody who tells you you cannot make a living doing network marketing is lying to you, because both I did it and my husband did it as well. He managed to give up his job with the council and was doing network marketing full time. So that's another lesson that I learned along the way. However, fast forward a couple of years, and we were sort of like having a couple of holidays a year. You know, we both had cars on the drive. We weren't in the lap of luxury, but we were getting by. And we went to Rhyl on holiday, and we saw this caravan, and I fell in love with this caravan. So we went back to the caravan we were staying in at the time. We sat down, we did the maths, we went round, we asked a few questions. We thought we'd asked all the right questions, and we decided that we'd go ahead with it because we did the maths. We could just about afford it. We decided to go and get this caravan. So we sat in the office, we just signed on the dotted line. I had previously asked how much the site fees were, and he said they start at 2,500 and go up to 3,650, depending on which plot you go on, right? So we signed on the dotted, dead happy with everything, and it came time to pick the plot. So I said, well, can we have one of the cheap plots, please? Because that's what I budgeted for. And he goes, oh, no, you can't have one of them. He says, your caravan's too big for that size plot. He says, you're going to have one of the 3,650 plots. And my face just went, oh, right, okay. So it was a case of straight away I needed to find an extra £1,000 from somewhere, because literally buying that caravan was taking us up to the limit of what we budgeted for. So then I found out that there's insurance, rates, heating, lighting, obviously heating and lighting, I knew about those anyway, but a gas check and an electric check every year. And all in all, it worked out about 4,800 just to keep the caravan on the site. And I budgeted for about 2,000 to 3,000. So it was like, all of a sudden, this dream had turned into a bit of a nightmare, because I just didn't have that money. I needed an extra £200 per month just to make the books balance. So I thought, what am I going to do? And round about this time, the company that I was with were going through financial problems of their own, and they were making cutback after cutback after cutback, and that was affecting my income. My income was going down, and I needed extra. I didn't need it to go backwards. I needed extra. So I thought, right, okay, let's go back to basics. Remember what I did last time? Go out, put more books out. Nope. Nothing worked. I did get more orders, but I mean, 25 quid is nowhere near what I needed. So I was like, what am I going to do? So it's kind of in that climate. I wasn't really looking for another job. I wasn't looking for another company. I just didn't know what to do. I was like stuck between a rock and a hard place. I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning worrying about this problem. And I couldn't sleep, and I was going on like this for months. And then it was just after Christmas in 2018, and I just happened to be scrolling through Facebook. And my friend, Janine, who's on here tonight, and probably some of you know her, she had posted on Facebook about a company called Essence. Now, straight away, just because by what she was saying, I knew it was a network marketing straight away. And after I got over there, why didn't she come to me, sort of like being a little bit peeved about that, she's not, she knows I do this company, why didn't she come to me if she wanted to do that? After I got over that, I actually sent her a message and I said, Janine, what's that you're doing? Because I was curious, I'd never heard of this company called Essence with her. So I said, what's that you're doing? And she says, oh, Louise, she says, it's amazing. They're new to the UK. And they make designer inspired perfumes. I didn't know what designer inspired meant, but she said the perfumes are amazing. They smell just like the big designer brands, and they last ages. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I wasn't really interested in all of that. All I was interested in was whether or not I could earn £200 from it, right? So I said to her, okay, can you send me some information over? So she said, sure, honey, I'll send you this booklet. So she sent me this booklet over. But while I'm waiting for her to send it over, I nipped onto Google because I'd never heard of this company. And I thought, for all I knew, they could be dodgy. So I nipped onto Google and I did a Google search. And I found very little about them. Very little out about them at all. But what I did find was a review from this guy who works in network marketing, I think that's what he was doing, but he'd reviewed a load of different companies and he'd done this review about Essence and there wasn't a single bad thing in there about them. It explained how they'd been set up in Europe since 2011, but there wasn't a single bad thing. So I thought, okay, right. So Janine sends over this stuff, and I'm looking at it and I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like blown away. I mean, first of all, it's telling me that I could earn £7.20 for every bottle of perfume that I sold. I've never earned that much in my life in terms of percentage wise from selling like 20, well at the time they were 20 quid, now they're £21.50. But for selling a £20 bottle of perfume, I never earned £7.20 from that, I can tell you. But it didn't stop there. Said, if you sell 8 bottles, you get 1 free. If you sell 14 bottles, you get 2 free. And if you sell 18 bottles, you get 3 free. Right? So I thought, nah, this sounds too good to be true. Right? So I'm thinking, what's the catch? So I carry on reading. And then I find out that not only do I get £7.20 a bottle, I get another... and I get these free bottles on top. If I can sell, because each of these products has got a points value with Essence, and the perfumes, and I've got a bottle of perfume here to show you, the perfumes are 11 points. But if I could sell 100 points worth, I got an extra commission on top, paid to me by Essence in my back office every month, right? So I'm thinking to myself, nah, this sounds too good to be true. So I said to Janine, Janine, so how much is it to join this company? So she says, it's free to join, but I recommend that you get a kit. Now the kit looks like this one here. And it's got inside it a notepad, a pen, and 60 of our standard perfumes, right? So I said to her, how much is it? So she, at the time, I mean, Essence wasn't even in the UK when I joined. At the time, I think it worked out about 40 quid for me to get my kit from the Czech Republic and have it sent over. And now it's even cheaper than that. It's 32, but if you buy it in your first month for joining, it's less than £30. I think it's £29.40, so £29.80, something like that, if you get it at the time you join. But I thought, like back then it was 40 quid, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to give this a go because it's 40 quid. If that's the most I can lose doing this, 40 quid, and at least I'll be able to try it for myself, right? I don't have to listen to anybody else's reviews. Try it for myself. If that's the most that I can lose, I'm happy with that, right? So I signed up there and then and ordered my kit that day. So when it came, I straight away started talking to people, started telling them what I'd done. I said, I've just joined this new company. I've started it as a sideline. I'm keeping my other business going, right? I said, but they do perfumes. I said, and I'd say to them something like, do you use perfume, or what's your favourite perfume, or whatever came to mind at the time, whatever, but somehow to bring it up into a conversation. And if they said, yeah, I use perfume, I'd say to them, well, what's your favourite? And they'd tell me what the favourite was. And if we did it, I'd just get the sample out and say, here, try that. And whilst they would try to struggle to get the top off the bottle, I'm telling them all about Essence, saying like Essence started in the EU in 2011, and they're not in the UK yet, but they are in the UK now, but then they weren't. So I'd be explaining they're not in the UK yet, but they are, you know, they make these perfumes which are their own perfumes. They're not copies, they're not fakes, they're their own perfumes. They come in their own bottle. They've each got a number instead of a name, but they and Essence themselves don't say that they're like any other brand. I used to say, if you go on the website and look it up, I said, you won't see Essence refer to any other brand, but these perfumes are made in the same factories as the big brands, and they have been inspired by the big brands. There's no copyright on the actual fragrance notes, so Essence use their own formula for the base. They put the fragrance notes in, and these perfumes smell the same as some of the big designer brands. I said, but if you don't believe me, try it for yourself. Here's your favourite perfume. And they'd smell it and they'd go, oh my God, yeah, it is. And I could bet you 9 times out of 10 after they smelled it, they would come back and buy the full price bottle, which at the time was 20 quid, but now it's £21.50, because if you're buying a big brand, you're paying £60 to £70 and you're getting something that smells exactly the same, lasts as long, smells as strong, and it's only £21.50. So it's a no-brainer. So, I mean, on my first night out, I sold 4 bottles. Within a week, I'd sold 10 bottles. And by the end of the month, I'd got my 200 quid and some. Because I'd got my calculator out. I'd worked out that I needed to sell 21 bottles to earn £200. You actually earn £200 and 4p. Don't forget that 4p. If you sell 21 bottles. So I had earned in my first month my £200 that I needed, and I kept that going. So it didn't stop there, because I then got really excited about this, because, you know, I'm earning really good money for selling 21 bottles, less than one a day, and I'm earning £200 a month, the £200 that I needed. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, you know, and I could think of about several people who would be interested in this. So I started talking to my friends about it. Next thing I know, one of my friends, Julie, joins me. And then virtually a few days later, my friend over in Real, Joyce, she joined me as well. And with Essence, you don't just earn on what you sell, but anybody that you sign up underneath you earn off them as well. So I had Julie join me, I had Joyce join me, and Joyce, super seller Joyce, goes out, she sells, I think it was about 100 bottles in the first month. So I'm earning off my own sales, but because Joyce was selling, she was pushing me up the marketing plan. So I was starting to earn bigger money. I was earning like 9% instead of 3% in my back office. And then Julie started to introduce people. Julie started to sign up people left, right and centre, and she was pushing me up the scale even further. So I thought, hang about, I'm onto something here. So I started to talk to even more people, and even more people started to join my team. And I went from, in May 2019, I went from earning £33 in my back office to 3 months later having 10,000 points in my back office and earning 4 figures in 1 month. 4 figures in 1 month. I mean, don't get me wrong, I knew it was possible to earn money in network marketing because I've been in it before, and I've been in it since 1997 and seen it happen. But I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. I thought I'd have to work for years to get to that level. But there I was, in 3 months, between May and August, just going from £33 to over £1,000 a month. And then the month after that, it tripled. I was like, whoa, right? And I think it was the month after that that I qualified for a car. Now, they didn't have the car scheme in the UK, but I wasn't bothered because I didn't join Essence to win a car or to get a car. I didn't join Essence to win a holiday. I joined Essence because I needed £200 a month. But, and then, like I say, the car scheme wasn't even in the UK, and I had to wait until October just gone to actually get the car. And now, if you live in Denton, you'll see me driving around Denton doing my deliveries in my Essence car, and you can't miss it because it's got a big bottle of perfume on the top, on the roof, and it's got like big blue bubbles on the back. But I love it. I absolutely love this car. So, the other thing that I have really, really loved about this company is seeing what it's done for my friends, the ones who actually listened to me and joined. because it's not just changed my life. I've seen it change them. In fact, it's made a bigger difference to their lives than it has to mine. And it's just been, sometimes I've been in tears watching them, because they like, oh, you know, they just think it's so fantastic, because they've gone from owing like thousands of pounds to people to having no debt whatsoever, which is, you know, that is amazing. That has literally changed their lives. So for me, that has been one of the biggest pleasures out of this. And that is why I still keep talking to people every single day about what a great opportunity this is. Now, in September 2019, I left my other company. And I'm not ever going to say anything bad about that company, because they were very, very good to me over the years. But it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do for me. It wasn't no longer doing what I wanted it to do for me, and Essence was. So I thought, you know what? It makes sense to put my effort where I'm going to get the biggest reward. And I don't know of any other company that can pay up to 50% earnings on a bottle of perfume or on a product that you sell. And I say 50% because now I'm at the top of the Essence marketing plan. I'm a silver manager, and for every bottle I sell, I'm making a £7.20 still, but I get another £3.38 on top of that in back office commission for every bottle that I sell personally. Because I'm on 28%, so which as you can work out is £10.58, and it actually costs, the retails at £21.50, so that's 50% commission, or 50% in earnings, should I say. So I don't know of any other company where you can earn that kind of money, and I actually love what I do now. I don't have to worry about money. I don't have any sleepless nights worrying about money. You know, and I know now that I can keep my caravan. My caravan's paid for every year. I don't have to worry about where the money's coming from to pay for the caravan. But it isn't just about the money. I have learnt so many skills since I joined this company. I didn't know anything about digital marketing, selling online. Everything I know about digital marketing and selling online, I've learnt with this company. So now, when I get up in the morning, I'm really looking forward to getting onto my computer every single day to see what I could do next. I mean, I'm like a graphic designer. I signed up for Canva. I know how to use Canva. I'm like a graphic designer. I can make videos and I can publish videos. And it's just amazing what I've actually learnt whilst I've been with this company, because the support you get from this company is second to none, especially in this team, in the Essence Diamonds team. It is second to none. So, if there's anything, that is actually bringing me to the end of my speech now. I am running over a little bit, but if there's anything that I've said tonight that has piqued your interest and you want more information, go back to the person who's invited you here tonight and have a word with them, and see, you know, if they will answer any questions that you've got. And if nobody's invited you to here tonight, but you are interested, drop me an inbox message and I will quite happily answer any questions that you have. So that brings me to the end of my presentation, and I apologise to everybody, right, who's been commenting whilst I've been talking, simply because, right, I can't answer any of your messages because I can't see. I've not got my glasses on. If I put my glasses on, I look really weird. I get these, that comes off light rings, so I can't see what anybody's saying to me. So what I will do is I will go through the questions, or go through the comments, see if there's any questions. I'll answer everybody who's commented, and thank you very much if you joined us tonight. And if you're watching me on replay, please drop me a comment saying that it's replay, and then we know who's been watching. So thank you and goodbye.